First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future. That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter. Member FDIC.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk here on TV 35. I'm your host, Pat Brock, and we've got Miss Shenita Hunt here, a fabulous singer where this is her hometown right here, yes, and now she's a transplanted Floridian. She's with Rose Voice Entertainment, and she's got a new CD, Color My World Live.
Color My World Live is something that I've been working on for quite a while, and it's finally out. It's available now for everybody to hear the band. If you weren't there, you still get to hear us live.
We are so excited. I think the last time we talked, we kind of talked about your childhood, your upbringing, and then, of course, to where you are now. We want to hear about this new CD. We want to hear about the concert that you did down in Florida.
Absolutely.
And we want to know when it's coming to Dublin.
So the album itself came about because Color My World needed to be introduced to South Florida. Mm-hmm. You know, the fact that the band plays a lot of music, we wanted to make sure people got a chance to hear my original music.
Right.
So the album itself became a product of the live band and concert, so they could hear the original music and hear some other songs that we do. So we decided to go ahead and make a full concert out of what we do as a band and as my original work.
How has that process been? Because we know that it's been so much time in the making. Tell us about that whole process, because there's a lot of other people out there who are singers and songwriters and musicians, and when you talk about putting an album together with the live band and doing concerts, there's a lot that goes into that.
One thing about it, because the songs were already recorded more or less in the studio, I was able to give all the musicians their own parts. So because they were given their own parts, they were able to learn the music the way I wrote it, the way I wanted it to be, and we actually worked on mapping out the songs so they would flow in a concert type of format, and that helped a whole lot. So we actually did the Color My World album with other songs in between, and it made it all make sense. It was like a storyline. So we got a chance to come together. Anytime I get a band, I always get the trained musicians, because they can learn music just like that. They understand the format, they understand how to play music, and then when we come together, we just try to make chemistry and magic happen with all that talent that they already have.
And you know, sometimes it's kind of difficult to kind of get the right band members, you know, so that you can gel with the actual performer.
And let me tell you, the best ones are always busy too, so you have to lock them in. Got to lock them in when you need them. But you know what, the great thing about it is that the musicians that I use, anytime I call them, they answer the phone. Wow. They answer the phone, and they know that I'm about business. If I'm calling them to do something, they know it's getting ready to be something that is important, something serious, something that will showcase their talent. So I'm very, very happy to say that I get a chance to grab the best of the best in South Florida.
And tell us about the type instruments that are being used in this, because
wow, you're talking about 2 keyboard players, guitar player, bass player, drummer, 4 backup singers. That, you know, you got 2 keyboard players who have 2 keyboards apiece, so you're talking about 4 keyboards on stage. Right.
You know, that's so magnificent. And so getting ready for the concert that you did in Florida. Right. I mean, having to make sure that everyone had their parts and that you all were gelling. I mean, what was going on in your mind when you were thinking, here I am, coming from Dublin, Georgia,
yes,
and
absolutely.
then to be able to come before so many people at such a magnitude?
Well, you know, I think one thing that I've done is I've learned to train to be the singer that I am, and that in itself gives you the background and kind of the confidence to do what you want to do. It was great to also get 4 singers who also had been trained in music to do the vocal part. So coming together with just them, working on only the vocals was really a great experience. Yeah. And then coming together with the band, all they had to do was hear the songs, know how I wanted them you know, perform live by listening to the recording, and then letting them give me some of the nuances that they could give me just from their own experiences, and then having the songs become more or less this elaborate type of live production on stage. So I would say that my training and my experiences as a singer, as a performer, helped to prepare me for this album.
Now, is it a big adrenaline rush when you're going live? I mean,
Yes.
as opposed to being in the studio and you've got your different, you know, pieces that you can break it into part in order to get the finished product. But going going live. That's
Yes.
just something.
It was wonderful. It really was. And let me tell you, the excitement of people who wanted to see the band coming up and showing up, it was great just to see those faces, because whenever the band is playing, those are the fans who show up all the time. So that's great. You always want to give them something.
Yes.
Give them something that you know that you're giving of yourself to them.
And tell us about your Floridian fan base. Tell us about the people that you get that gravitate towards you, because you're classically trained.
A lot of spiritual folk, a lot of people who are professionals in Dade County Public Schools, a lot of people who are professionals in the city of Miami-Dade, whether they are lawyers, doctors, some news anchors, the mayor.
You've got sophisticated fans.
Yes, I got a lot of fans. And sororities and fraternities who've hired the band over the years. A lot of people who love music. Now, one thing about it, the people who come out and hear my band are people who know what bands sound like.
Right.
Okay, and there's a difference, because a lot of people are like, oh, that sounds good, but people who know Earth, Wind, and Fire, who know a lot of the other bands, Come Function, whatever, they know when you've got 2 keyboard players on the stage and they got 4 keyboards, they know what kind of sound is getting ready to come out of the band.
It's like magic.
Exactly.
Magic,
Exactly.
like how it comes to life. And I just recall looking at old videos and of bands.
Yes.
And just seeing how instrumentally sound they were.
Right, exactly.
And hearing that kind of music. You don't
Yes.
always hear that
You
anymore.
don't always hear that.
A lot
Not
of things
only
are
that-
synthesized.
Exactly. A lot of things are synthesized. One thing about it, a lot of the modern music today, of course, incorporates the old and the new. So my album has a little bit of old and new, as well as the new stuff that's getting ready to be put out.
What does your music say about you as a person? Because, you know, your music, it tells a story.
Yes.
And the type of music that you sing, the type of music that you produce,
Right.
it tells your story. So what story does your music tell
That's
about
a good
you?
question, Pat. I think, you know what, over the years, you're going to hear a lot of different styles of music from me. I think my music tells people exactly what kind of music we got here in Dublin. Now, people don't know this, but a lot of the stuff that we were able to hear when it came to people of color, we got off TV. You know, so when it came to radio, I got a lot of top 40. When I was in church, I got a lot of gospel. Being in school, I got a lot of the classical and some contemporary. And so I am just a melting pot.
You're like a fusion.
I am. I'm a fusion. And then going to South Florida, getting introduced to Caribbean style music, reggae. I did reggae for a lot of years, singing background, and that was an experience I would have never gotten here in Georgia.
Right.
So I'm just a melting pot of a lot of styles. And so songs that come to me are not always written for me or my voice, but I am going to give them to the world, and whoever decides to sing them, who decides to be the front person as the artist, I welcome that person to take that song and go and carry it the way God intended.
That's beautiful. And what I love about you, Shenita, is the fact that you did have to leave.
Yes.
In order to get the diversity that you need in culture,
Right.
in music,
Right.
in a different atmosphere, in order for your music to grow the way it has. Would you say
You know,
so?
I always wanted the experience of being the best singer I could be. When you're listening to people like Natalie Cole, Denise Williams, Donna Summer, Melissa Manchester. I listened to a lot of different singers. When you listen to singers like that, you always knew, okay, I sing, but I don't sound like that. And so when you're seeking education to finally get serious about what you want to do as a singer, you say, okay, I want to get whatever it takes for me to sound like those ladies so that I can carry a song like that. So University of Miami did that for me.
They did it for you.
They did it for me.
And you were able to find Shenita's niche.
Absolutely, because once they give it to you, they cannot make you who you are. You take that gift and you incorporate that into your unique style.
And here you have it.
And here I have it.
We're going to talk more in just a little bit. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Shenita Hunt.
Hot tubs. We love them. They're one of the universe's greatest gifts to the stressed out, the sore-bodied, and the party animal. But then comes the dilemma. Is the stress-melting nature of a hot tub worth the seemingly endless cleaning and maintenance that comes with ownership? With the Constant Clean Hot Tub Water Management System from Marquis, there is no dilemma. Traditional circulation pumps are slow to draw water. They often filter only a portion of the water, and usually only skim debris from the surface, leaving most of the particulates in the rest of the water untreated. Marquis' Vortex Skimmer system powerfully filters 100% of the water from the hot tub, floor to surface, 60 to 160 times a day via its primary pump. The vortex skimmers skim surface contaminants such as body oils and lotions, then direct them into the filter cartridges, trapping them there. Water is also drawn from the footwell and forced upward through the filter to trap heavier particles that might settle in the water near the floor of the hot tub. All of the filtered water is then drawn into the primary jet pump and through the high-flow heater assembly. From there, the ozonator's high-output, energy-efficient design converts oxygen into activated ozone gas. The Mozzie injector mixes the ozone with water, which is then introduced into the mixing chamber, where bacteria and other contaminants are neutralized for clean, sanitary water. The ozone converts back to plain old oxygen and is reintroduced, along with any residual ozone, into the hot tub water. Water passes through the inline sanitation system and is treated with natural minerals and low-dose bromine or smart chlor before re-entering the spa. All of this happens without lifting a finger, thanks to the Smart Clean software that knows when you've used the hot tub and automatically triggers a cleanup cycle after your soak. The Constant Clean system allows you to change your water less frequently, use less electricity than a traditional circulation pump that runs constantly, and use fewer chemicals that may smell or can cause skin irritation. For the ultimate hot tub experience, without the hassle, contact a marquee dealer today.
And we're back with Shenita Hunt having such an interesting conversation about her new album that's out, Color My World Live.
Yes.
And just really fascinating to hear about how amazing it is even to be in the position that you are and to work with so many great artists.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've really been very fortunate to be in the studio with so many wonderful engineers, producers, being on stage or even opening for some of the greatest artists that we've heard all over the United States. I've opened for Eric Benet, I've opened for Peebo Bryson, I've done something with Jeffrey Osborne on stage. I've opened for some of their acts that have come through Jazz in the Gardens, like in India Irie, and I've been just in areas where people have heard me and they've said, wow, we heard you, I know who you are. You know, and I'm like, wow, these people know who I am. You know, Gerald Levert having heard me before, live, face to face. You know, all of that has been a wonderful experience for me.
You know, this is just like the Bible says, your gifts are making room for you.
Absolutely,
How
they really
cool
are.
is that?
Yes, that
To
is a
see.
wonderful, wonderful thing to know. Yes.
And now let's talk about these 19 songs.
Yes.
Talk to us about the different styles that you have and the meaning of, you know, what you're wanting to convey when you do sing these songs or when someone hears them.
Well, one thing about it, my team told me there are songs that I love to sing that maybe should not be performed live. They're just songs that I should do for myself. But there are songs that my voice sound really good on. So these were the songs that we chose to go along with the Color My World album. Songs like I Love the Lord by Richard Smallwood, Heard My Cry. Actually did his arrangement of it, but it's a Donny Hathaway tune. So we did more or less the Richard Smallwood arrangement of I Love the Lord, He Heard My Cry. That was the opening number for the concert. So then they get to see my spiritual side. They get to be in touch with me and they start to feel me spiritually before the concert starts to take off. Exactly. So, you know, people say gospel is one of my strongest genres anyway. So singing that, people get to see where that gospel training came from.
You know, that's your root. You were that little girl playing at all these different
but
churches.
But now I sing it though like I really own it. You know,
Yes.
when you're a kid, you're more or less imitating and mimicking what you see, or you think you're feeling something, but when you go through some stuff, and when God brings you through things and you kind of learn how to trust, then you can really sing a song with testimonial type of emotion.
That's when it really comes from your spirit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's the opening number. Then we go into songs that are on the album. We go into You Gotta Be, giving people some inspiration. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. All we know that love will save the day. So that one's performed live, you know, as well as the original songs. And then we go into I Wanna Love Again, a tune that Natalie Cole sang. Tyler Perry made it popular on the Diary of a Mad Black Woman album when he had the couple go into Chandra Corelli's nightclub and have dinner. And she starts singing that song on stage. So my dad was the one who said, you should do that song. I said, I love it, Dad. I said, I got to see if the band can play it. And all I did was hand it to the band, and boom, we rehearsed it. Wow. And so every time, if you listen to the album, when I finish that song, the crowd goes wild. Wow. They love that song because the movie was so popular with that song. So that's on the album, performed live, you know. And other songs, Superstar by Luther. But it's actually a song written by the Carpenters. Yeah.
I love the Carpenters.
Yeah, so Superstar, Luther's version of Superstar is also on there. And the thing is that the audience had no idea that I'd be doing Superstar. So we just started with part of the intro, that big orchestrated intro that Luther does. And then I started with the song, and it was really, really a wonderful part of the concert. So. Songs like that. Sade, because people do see somewhat of a cool and calm and collected spirit about me, you know, so a Sade tune is on the album. Nothing can come between us.
You know, as I'm listening to you, you're touching so many different areas and times of music.
Yes.
Music, it soothes the soul.
Yes, it does. And
the artists that you're choosing, the ones that are not your original pieces, these songs, they speak to us in such ways.
Yes, absolutely. It was very, very, really, really good that I had a team that was experienced enough to know these are the songs that don't get old, they never go away.
Timeless.
Exactly. So, and the artists that we love are performing these songs as originals for their albums, and now here I am covering them for my album. So it was great to bring them back live.
Bringing it back. Love it. Continue. What else you have?
So then we also have "Cause You Love Me, Baby" by Denise Williams. Now, Denise Williams was somebody I always tried to sing all her high notes all the time. So I had never tried to sing this song, but one of my backup singers who went to college with me, she says, you should do that song. She said, let's consider doing that one live. So we decided to work on that one, and I worked out the harmonies, the background harmonies for the 4 girls, and we started practicing that because it has some harmonizing parts in the back behind me, and then I gave the track to the band,
and they picked it up.
And they picked it up,
No
absolutely.
problem.
The drummer is amazing on this song. You'll hear what he does on it. Jill Scott's "He Loves Me" is on this album.
I saw her sing that live.
What? Yes.
Jazz concert in Virginia.
Oh, yes,
in
yes.
Hampton, Virginia.
Okay. So the thing is, a classical training now comes into play. Because in order to do this song, you got to have some classical training to be able to do the oohs that she does. So "He Loves Me" is performed live. Yeah.
Look at how everything is coming together with you. The training that you've gotten from so many different areas and people who've touched your life, your music teachers from back in the day, things that you have been taught as a little girl, is all coming together.
Right, it is, it is, it is. Being right here in Miller's Soul Food, growing up as a kid, there used to be a jukebox here. A rack jobber used to come in and change out the jukebox and put in new songs all the time so we'd know what was in the jukebox. And every so often we get new stuff. So I've got a song on here, When Somebody Loves You Back by Teddy Pendergrass is on the album.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You know what? So you're touching so many age groups. You know, as you're thinking about this, you're touching various age groups. So your music, it's not just centered for certain groups of people.
Exactly, exactly. That's right. I've got something for those who grew up during the Etta James time. So I've got At Last. A lot of people use it now as a first dance, but I know clearly people around my parents' age, they loved Etta James during that time. She was on Chess Records at the time. Oh, wow. So that was a #1 hit for her. So I did a song by her on the album. Never Knew Love Like This Before, written by James M. to me, but was also the song that he gave to Stephanie Mills.
Stephanie Mills.
Yeah, that's on the album.
You get me happy. Because I'm a lover of music, of all different types of music. And so my husband teases me because I'm not really a singer, but I can lip sync and karaoke the mess out of some songs. So when songs come on, it takes me to a time when I was there. I remember hearing something for the first time or the repetition of it. And so that's what music speaks to my heart.
Absolutely. Music does speak to your heart. We are messengers. We are messengers of God's lyrics. And we're supposed to give those songs so that people can have them. When I'm not around to sing them to you, you can sing them to yourself and allow yourself to soothe yourself and know, okay, this song speaks to me, and it gives me the words I need to know at this time.
And you know, and music is part of the creative arts therapies,
Yes,
as well as with
that's
drama and dance and poetry. Music is right up there.
It sure is. Music has a combination of art and science. And because of that, music can touch those who have some type of feeling of being very, very emotional and psychologically connected. And then when it comes to ministering to you as far as words, sometimes we need words and facts, the truth sometimes to settle our souls.
Yes.
And when those words speak to you, those lyrics and phrases speak to you, sometimes it's just all you need.
That's it.
Just all you need. Yeah.
You know, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Well, thank
We're going to take
you.
one more break.
Okay.
And we're going to be back, and we're going to finish up with Shenita Hunt, Color My World Live.
At Meadows, we believe cancer is a time to come together. So from diagnosis, we pair patients with a nurse navigator to provide support and be a guide throughout the entire treatment process. We unite the area's top oncologists, surgeons, and support specialists on one team to chart a course of treatment for each individual case. We combined chemotherapy and some of the newest radiation technology, including the area's only CT simulator for precisely targeted treatment in one facility. And we welcome loved ones to remain side by side in comfortable, light-filled treatment rooms and family areas. Here, we believe in joining forces to fight cancer. So we've united advanced treatment and support services in one comforting healing center that is close to the greatest comfort of all, home. One campus, one devoted team, one holistic approach. Meadows Health, the Tommy and Shirley Strickland Cancer Center in Vidalia.
And we are back, you know, with Shenita Hunt. It's been so good, Shenita, just going over the songs that you're covering. We've got to talk about the songs that are your originals.
My originals, that's right. My originals, like I said, these songs are given to me by God. They're not mine. They're the songs that I get just when God gives me an inspiration to do something, and He says, put this bass, put this drum, these drums, put these keyboards and this melody together, and they become songs.
Yes.
So the first song that's featured on here that's live is Soulful Opera. Soulful Opera. It's just a song that says whoever comes into your life makes an orchestration, yes, of love around you, centered around you.
You know that's deep, right?
Yes, it is. It really is deep. It really
That's
is deep.
very deep.
So the first one that I do is Soulful Opera, and it's wonderful. It's different. It's a song that you would not imagine that's got a neo soul feel to it, but yet it has an operatic type of vocal melody to it.
That's nice.
Yes.
See, people are, with your original music, they're really seeing how in depth
Yes.
you have gone in creating this piece.
Yes, yes. I really have allowed my training, my education to be a part of what I do as a singer, as an artist.
You're a smart singer.
Well, thank you.
You know what I mean by that?
No.
You're a smart singer, meaning it's not just the voice that you have, but there's so much that's behind that in understanding music and understanding people, the language of music, and what is needed in order to touch an audience.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I think a lot of the education that I've had has made me learn how to think about music differently. You know, professors will have you in a classroom and he will play something and say, all right, analyze this. What do you hear? What kind of emotion is the listener supposed to have? What kind of formula do you hear as far as a composition? Write it out, okay? Give me an example of what you hear and give it to me in terms. Let's have a discussion about it. Where else have you heard this song in a classical piece, this particular format in a classical piece? And so you start to think about songs and how they should go along with words.
Yes.
How do you want people to feel about your song? All of that comes into play when you're putting a song together.
See? Smart singer.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Keep going, darling.
Okay, so after that, I've got the Color My World original. The first one that I ever decided to take an old keyboard and just start doing the drums and bass and the keys myself. Color My World. So that's the next one that I did. And then after that, I did Are You Ready for Love? Are You Ready for Love just has this old Gladys Knight type of feel to it. You know, I just knew it needed to be that, so I wanted to make sure that I had, you know, that sound in my voice. You know, when Rich wrote the words, you know, basically I said, okay, I know exactly how to style this one. You know, it needs to be somebody who has some experience with love singing the song. So Are You Ready for Love is the next one. And then we did Dance Till We Fall in Love Again. I guess an homage to the steppers, those who are into stepping. You know, that's a big Chicago thing. Some of the other places around the United States, they're good at the whole stepping style of dancing. So Dance Till We Fall in Love has a steppers type of feel to it. So that was the next one we did. The Best Is Yet to Come, written for my church for an Adventures in Faith conference that we had. It was a 7 or 8 week series where we talked about growing as a Christian and working on your life. And so we wanted to finish it out with The Best Is Yet to Come. So The Best Is Yet to Come was a song that we used to finish out the whole conference, and Rich decided to write the words and I decided to put the music to it. And I gave it an old staple singer type of song from back in the day in the 70s. I decided to use that style for the song.
When you're writing a song, how much time does it take for you to write a piece?
You know what, it really doesn't take long if you allow spirit to guide you. I'll say that, but sometimes when you have to make it elaborate and add all the things to it in order for the song to sound full, fully composed, then it takes some time. Sometimes you do it, you rest, you leave it alone, go back to it with fresh ears and let it tell you what else it needs.
Let it marinate a little bit, and then there it is.
Absolutely.
We love that. Well, we're so excited that the album is here. Of course, it got here in May, May of this year.
May in 2018. That's what this whole poster was about. This poster was to let everybody know that the album was coming in May. It's been here for a while. I haven't been back here throughout that time frame, so I'm here right now giving you guys more or less a promo, a live promo right here at Miller's, and let you know to come get your own copy.
And just let them know where they can actually get a copy of this if they're not here in the Dublin-Lawrence County area. Tell us what we need to do.
This CD actually is a downloadable project and actually a product that you can get off of ShenitaHunt.com. That's ShenitaHunt.com. You can also get it on all the other digital download websites like iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon. And if you do Amazon.com, you can always go to some of the charitable organizations, and they get a donation for your product. My church, Universal Truth Center, is also on that list. You can also get one of give them a charitable donation by getting it on Amazon. Downloading it is a good thing, but I want you to go to my website, ShenitaHunt.com, and get it from me. So if you're going to iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, I would prefer you go to me and give it to me so I can get 100%.
That's right. If you're old school down here in Dublin.
Old school, come right here to Miller's Soul Food, right here, and get your whole physical copy. My Uncle Josephus Miller is here. He's here every day that they're open. Come get your copy from him. You can see him. My mom, Nadine Miller Hunt, is here. Ruby Miller Johnson is here. My cousin, Mazo Jones, is here. But always see them, and you can get your copy. I have plenty of them here, right here at Miller's.
Very good. Well, it's also been such an esteemed pleasure to sit with you,
well,
Shenita.
Thank you always. It's always a pleasure to be on Real Talk. Always a pleasure to be on Real Talk. Whenever I come in town, I make sure that Pat and I are always keeping in touch to know when I'm touching down right here on Georgia soil,
and we're
so
glad
that we can get together, and just catch up on the things that we want to talk about.
And you're doing great things. We're excited. We're looking forward to when the concert comes here.
Absolutely. I'm
theater.
Looking forward to bringing it back to Dublin. I look forward to performing for you all. I perform for strangers all the time, but it's great to perform for hometown people. So when I bring the band back, I want to see everybody there. It's going to take everybody there to make this a successful performance for us.
Well, keep us posted, Shenita.
I will. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Shenita Hunt talking about Color My World Live. Her album is out. Make sure you pick it up, get a copy, and we just appreciate and love her so much. Thank you, Shenita.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the time we have for Real Talk here on TV 35. Please keep watching.